So just give me a second while I do that. Okay, all right. So just let me know if all of you can see the session and read it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just let me know. Okay, you can open the chat. Oh, okay, Neelam, I think my chat, because when I'm sharing, I don't think I'll be able to see the chat. So I would request you to, just help me out with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks a lot. All right. So, a quick some housekeeping stuff. Please put your phones on mute or remove all distractions as much as possible. For the next 30 to 40 minutes time, I want to share some things with you, and after that, I will be taking the questions and answers. So, in 1 hour's time, we should complete it. If people want to stay back and if the things permits, then we can go on for some more time if it is needed. But even if that is not possible, you have, all of you have my contact details. Please feel free to get in touch with me, and whatever questions you have, I am here to help you to the best of my ability. So with that, let's look at 5 keys to your profitable online course idea. So this is a session one of the 3 sessions. So tomorrow we are going to be looking at validating the idea. Is it really a idea worth it? And day 3 we will look at it. How can we really make it profitable? So we're going to be talking today about what is an online course to an extent, and then take about it. So all of you are familiar and have been or are still in a profession of teaching, training, supporting, helping, guiding, counseling. All of that you people are doing. So that's why you all have been invited here, and I'm very glad that you have joined with us today. So let's go ahead with the session now. All right. So in the next 30 to 40 minutes, this is the ambitious goal: how to identify the right topic for your course, how to express the greatest value of your course in words and pictures so that your customers will understand you and appreciate you, how to choose your ideal customer for the course of your choice, and what is the secret key to an offer that captivates your ideal customer, and how to convert the abstract theory into practice and profit. I think if we achieve this in the next 30 to 40 minutes, it's a good one, right? Yeah. It's pretty ambitious, I think, for it. So if you think it's pretty good, just type in the chat box. Yeah, yes, it is. It's nice, okay, or good, right? So let's go ahead with it. Is there any way I can see the chat? Okay, anyway, let's leave it. So, right. So the why are we doing all that is because I would like to accelerate towards your success in creating online course business. Okay. So what is this online course business part of it? Let us just explore that. What is the difference between online course versus online course business? All right. So that's a question that we are addressing. An online course is something like you see in this picture. It is there on the screen. Somebody is over there showing you something, telling something. If you see on this here, there would, oops, sorry. Okay. If you see here, there would be a lot of videos and a lot of things, and the material is there. It's all about the course content. That's an online course. Okay. But an online course business is different. In the online course business, the whatever is there in the online course is there. It continues to be there, but the focus is entirely on the person whom you are sharing this course with, who is taking the course as a student or as a participant, right? So as a course creator, it will be you will be looking at who they are. That's the first question. Then what do they want, how to reach them, how to reach to them, how to help them, and then finally, how to sustain and scale your business, right? How you can grow both financially as well as your knowledge, your capabilities, every aspect you need to keep growing. How to do it sustainably and scalably. That's what the business is all about. So that's why we are calling this as an online course business, right? So now a online course becomes a hobby. Whereas an online course business is a key to create. Number one is leverage. Leverage is all about time. You spend the same amount of time that you are spending right now to earn income and increase that income, or you keep the income constant and reduce the time that you spend, so that the next one comes where you will have the freedom. You cannot have the freedom, it's all about money. Unless you have enough money, earning money becomes the first part of it. Okay, so the first thing that we create is leverage, and the second one is freedom. But each one of you, I am 100% confident and wants to add a positive change to the world or create an impact in the world, right? So now people join the online course business for one of the three reasons. So if your choice is leverage, please type 1. If your choice is freedom, please type 2 in the chat box. If your choice is the impact, please type 3. If it is all three, please type all. Okay, right? So Neelam, what does the chat say?
Okay, so as of now, I have got Shashi Chaudhary ma'am saying two,
Hmm.
Hema saying two, Ratna ma'am saying all,
Hmm.
Raj Bharat sir telling all, and Srinivas Kumar sir telling all.
Super.
He has given a 3-1-2 kind of
Okay,
priority,
the
and
priority as well.
Saptagiri
Super.
sir all.
Super. Okay. All right. So, whatever is your choice, if it is all yes, all is possible, yes, all you will get, but you would probably, depending upon your choice, you might focus on that aspect of it more in the beginning, but the other two will very quickly follow. All right. So, super. So, but every one of you want at least one of it. So, that's great. So now every problem there is an opportunity is the saying. So the COVID situation has actually given us an opportunity. Today, a kindergarten child knows what's online education all about, or at least an online class, how to attend, how do you handle Zoom, how do you do this, that, everything of it. So this whole thing is now fast forwarded. Okay, what we thought would probably take another 2 3 years time, no, the opportunity is now. Okay, it is just about started, and we need to accelerate, and the world is waiting for you, because you have an amazing expertise. You are a special person who can make a impact and make a difference to someone else's life, and they are waiting for you, right? So you need to then move from being a teacher to a teacher owner, or a teacher business owner, or I think Neelam only the other day was saying teacherpreneur or edupreneur. Yeah, something like that is there. Yeah,
Wonderpreneur.
wonderpreneur. Yeah, so that's what we are talking about today. All right. Now, there are three keys to success in an online course business. The very first one is you need to create an irresistible offer that when your prospective student says, yes, I want it, and should be able to take it. The second key is that there should be an eager market. If one person only is an irresistible offer for only one person, now that's not a business. All right, there should be enough number of people to give you sustainable growth, income, sustainable income, and a sustainable growth. Okay, the third one is that even when the eager market is there, if you don't know how to launch yourself and you take it forward, that's not going to happen. So these are the three keys that needs to be put into place. And so today we are going to be talking about irresistible offer, tomorrow eager market, and day after tomorrow on the success launchpad. All right, so let's go to the irresistible offer. The irresistible offer is valid in each and every stage of the online course business. The three that what are those stages? Let's look at it. The very first one is you need to create, right? The course, the online course has got to be created. So at that time you have to keep in mind what is the irresistibility about your course. It is important. And then when you talk to people and then talk about it, they need to confirm that yes, it is an irresistible offer, because only then they will be signing up for your course. And third one is when you communicate to the world, right? So then they will say certain things for you, and at that time also it should be it should be confirmed. That's the third stage of it. And whatever you learn when you're communicating to the larger population will come back, and maybe you will tweak your creation at that particular point of time. And or it could be a new course that you will come up with based on what the market is saying about it. So in all the three, it is the irresistible offer that becomes essential. Okay. So now there are five ingredients to an irresistible offer. So I want to here thank Danny Ini, who from whom I have learned these five this part of it. He is the founder of Mirasi, and I am right now. I'm still a student in one of his courses. All right. So this is where it comes from. I want to thank him. And Sapta had gone through a bit of this from Danny Ini directly. Right. So what are the five ingredients? Okay. Now I am a chef. That was my initial beginning, starting career. I was a chef. I don't cook well now. Okay. My wife is a better cook. All right. So the first thing that in the ingredient in that is the topic. Right now, here is the work for you. I want you to type in the chat what is the topic that you want to talk about. The broad topic in just not more than 5 words, 1 to 5 words. Okay. I will give Ratna Madams, because we had an interaction today morning. She could choose either English or she could choose music. Okay. That's it. One of the two. Right. So, and ma'am, you can choose something different also. Right. So please type in what are your topics, broad topic, and I would request Neelam to read it out as they come.
Cricket, Saptagiri sir.
Yeah.
English, Ratna ma'am.
Sorry, what is Ratna ma'am's?
English.
English, yeah. Okay.
And mine is NLP. Hema's is music.
Sangeeta? I'm interested in Sangeeta's.
Law.
Law. Okay, sorry, we are laughing at it. It is an insider joke. Once I called her as she has completed her post graduation in law, finance, and I don't know, something else. Legal. Nice, so the secretaryship. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why
Raj
we are laughing.
Bharat sir, baking. Wow.
Sorry?
Baking.
Baking. Who? Raj?
Raj sir.
Yeah, Raj is a lecturer in Christ Hotel Management part of it. He is a chef.
Wow. And
He's a chef
Shashi
trainer.
ma'am is
Okay,
healing
all right,
communications. Wonderful. Yeah.
Absolutely. And today morning we were talking, and she was talking about non-violent communication, because
Wow.
me and Srini were violent
That
in our
interests
communication.
me, Shashi ma'am.
So that was the part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Super. So let's move on. So you've got the gist of what's the traffic. The next thing is now is the student. Now here the condition is, when you describe your student, it should be externally verifiable fact, and they should be calling themselves with that name. That's what we call as a self-label. Okay. I learned that term self-label from Callan Rush. Okay. So externally, my student is interested in learning baking. No, because how do I, when I see somebody, how do I know whether the person is interested in baking or not? Okay, I've just taken the baking as an example for it, right? All those who are interested in music are my students. No. If somebody is interested in music, what are the externally verifiable, identifiable part is what you need to identify with. Okay. All right. So when we go deep into it in the course, there's going to be how to identify a ideal customer will come. But right now, don't worry too much about it. Just write the self-label, self-identification label that person will be using. Okay. All right. So please put it in the chat, and Neelam, can you please read it out, please?
Yeah.
Whoever has done that.
Sir, I didn't understand. What exactly you
didn't join any class today.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry. Sapta, can you please say it again?
I didn't get what is that you're asking us to do. Asking me to do.
Who is your student? How will you identify your student?
So I have written Wonder NLP.
Okay, when I see somebody, how will I know that somebody is, how do I identify that person?
By his actions, by his...
What are the actions?
So the actions could be that person is able to think laterally, is
Okay.
able
How
to
will
take
I know the person is thinking laterally? Thinking is happening inside the head.
uh, maybe by his again by the way he communicates, by the way he is talking to other people.
Okay. Okay. Here is a helping you question, Nilam.
Hmm.
Who talks like that? Are there a group of people who talk like that? Identify that group and you will get that. Right. So, for
Leaders.
example, for Saptas, I'll tell you cricket. So, when you go there, there are people playing in the grounds
Mm-hmm.
in the age group of.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So, that would be the student.
Hmm.
Okay. This is extremely important to identify who your ideal customer is. Right now you are struggling. Yes, I understand that, but that's a depth that one needs to
Hmm.
go in order to make an online course business.
Hmm.
All right. So right now, yes, I get the feedback that okay, I need to be helping people more on identifying the who the student is.
Hmm.
All
Hmm.
right. But just remember this much: whatever you say should be externally verifiable. So I'll give you some what is called as a demographics:
Hmm.
their age group, their gender, their
Hmm.
profession, their job, their interests, as in they are available, they are seen in movie halls, they are seen in playgrounds, they are seen in libraries, they are seen in clubs, whatever it is that is there, something that you can, when you go there you will be able to see those people.
Hmm.
They are on Facebook or they are not on Facebook.
Hmm.
Okay. And in Facebook, what kind of a things is of interest for them? So
Hmm.
those are all the things that would be you'll be talking about a student, and you should be able to come up with one or two words with which you will be able to, and the student should call themselves, like for example, if I say this course is for engineers. Okay.
Okay.
Which one of you will be interested? Except Srinivas, he was an engineer, now he will also be not interested. All right. So like that it is there. So that is what is the self label comes from. When I say okay, who wants to teach your expertise,
Hmm.
I'm sure all of you would raise your hands and say yes, I want to teach my expertise.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking for experts. Right. So experts in what? In any topic of it which they can, and they themselves call as I'm an expert in
Hmm.
dash music, English,
So can
cricket.
the answer be keen learners?
How do I know when I see a keen learner? See, not only I call myself,
Hmm.
it should also be easy for us. Okay.
Hmm.
These are qualities. Okay.
Hmm.
Great. We will go in depth into it right now. Whatever you get, you please put it there, doesn't matter, because at the end of
So,
it.
so Shashi Chaudhary ma'am has written no, she has written one who lacks communication skills and one who is into unhealthy relationship, frustrated, poor performer or something.
Super. So in all of this, yes, it is a descriptive of the person. So the thing that would be coming up, it is, while they themselves also may identify with that, they might be hesitant to express it. Okay. So why we are talking about this, when it comes to the marketing communication, it becomes extremely important how we put it. So wherever you are, that's good enough. So we will go ahead and we will see for that. Yeah. All right. The third one is the outcome. Whatever is that you are going to teach, what is the benefit or the results or the transformation that will happen in that individual because of your course? All right. So please write down, uh, please make a note of what are all the benefits that the person get, or the topmost result or the topmost benefit that the person is going to get. Please write them down for yourself. Take a minute for it. Okay. I'll move forward right now because we're going to put everything together, and that time I would be asking you for that. All right. Let me grab a sip of water. All right. So the fourth ingredient in this is the context. All right. Now, in order to explain to the about the context, I need to share a study that was conducted. The study was all about a group of people were paired, and one group of people were called the drummers, or they are the tappers. They would tap a tune of something which is very familiar, like "Happy Birthday to You" or "Ooh La La La," something of that kind, something which is very very familiar to everybody. They are supposed to do the tapping. They cannot say what they are tapping, but they have to tap it. Then the listener is supposed to listen and identify the what the song is all about, or what is the lyrics of it, right? So now the study was all about, then the tappers, after the thing was done, before they said it, they said okay, they asked the tappers what percentage of people would be able to identify what you have tapped. Okay. And they all said that about 50% was the answer for that, right? Now, then the question was asked to the people who were listening. What do you think? What percentage of people you think got it right? If it is 100%, just give me a guesstimate. Just type in the number that you think about it, and Neela will be able to read it out for us. What percentage?
Eighty, 60,
80. Okay.
60.
Now we're talking about listeners who gave the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 80. Anyone other numbers? Just give a number, whatever comes to your mind.
5%.
5. Okay.
Only the performers can.
Only. Okay. All right. That is 0. Okay. All right. In reality, when the study was done, okay, about 2 to 3% of the people only in the different batches were able to identify. Right. So then they went on further, and then what is the thing that came up about is that the person who is tapping it is already in their mind. So when they are tapping, they can hear the tune. But the person who does not know what it is about, it is not in their head. They are unable to identify what exactly the person is tapping or trying to communicate musically. Okay. All right. So that is where the context part of it comes. So this was for that study. Then what is the context for an online course business owner, and how do we get that right? See, I want every one of you to become an online course business owners. Why? Because I know the benefits that are there. I have seen enough of it. I am fully convinced about it. So I will be saying things which will go above your head, not in terms of the meaning of the words, but the intent of it, or what is the background of it. You will not be able to grasp it, saying that, or you will have a doubt. Is it really possible? Is it talking sense? Who else is there? The doubts can come, and a lot of other things can come when the context is not set properly. So as an online course business owners, we need to set the context. Right now, for setting the context, I have a tool to help you out. So let me give you the tool. You just simply write down, how you have your students and the ideal customers that you have, and talk about a problem that you are solving, which is the outcome of it, right? But talk about it from a problem perspective, right? Anybody that you are saying talking about it should be able to say, anyone who hears it should say that exactly I agree. All right. So I just want you to write down the context sentence, start with how, and write the problem statement and end it with a question mark. Okay. Right. If you have done, please put one or two, please start typing your thing there, and I'll take Neelam's help too. Okay. Okay, now I understand how I could have solved this problem and been able to see the chat. I have not done that. For tomorrow, I will do that.
Okay, so it says, I have typed, you know
That,
how fearful these times are.
yeah,
Okay. You know how the student counselors can help the students to unleash the power of their subconscious mind, yet
superb.
they are
That is
not.
Shashi's, right?
No, that is Saptagiri, sir.
That is Saptagiri's. Okay, all right. Yeah, okay.
And there is another explanation. Well, I teach the student counselors how to feed their subconscious mind.
Hang on. He has gone ahead. So we'll
Yeah,
just now look at only the context part of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know how bad our government is performing?
Who will say no to it?
Yeah, so that's a very good
Very
example.
good. Very powerful one,
Very
right? Yeah.
powerful one. Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes this, how is a generic problem. If you want to make it a much more personal, okay, this Sapta, please take this one. You don't know this. Start with have you ever? Okay. So taking the government part of it, it says, have you ever been in a government office where the person, the officer there is not at all bothered about you, right? Completely ignored you, right? So something like that. This is now making it very personal. Okay. Have you ever seen, have you ever, have you,
So
have
have
you
you
ever,
ever
have you
been?
ever had a person in your home completely spoil a cake when they tried to bake it? Yeah. That's, I'm saying it for the Raj,
Hmm.
right? So have you ever? Okay.
I've written, have you ever been to moon?
Have you ever been to moon?
Hmm.
Mm, are you going to take me to moon if I take your course?
Okay, that way.
Uh,
Okay.
so
Fine.
have you ever been to moon? Have you ever gazed at moon in awe? And I am assuming that you're going to teach me how to write poetry.
Great. That sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. As an example for that. All right. So that's how you set a context saying that, okay, now their problem is very clear for them. All right. So the last one is an example. Now the example is for the outcome that you have said in from your real life, right? You write out an example. So we'll come to the example. So how should the example be? Is, or in the other way that you ask is what makes a good example? There are two parameters for it. It should be relatable to where your prospect is now or a prospective student is now. Okay. All right. So take the example of the baking again, is saying that it's a person who says that I am interested in learning how to bake, right? I want to bake cakes at home. So then it should be aspirational about where they want to go. He said, then, Raj would say, okay, Ananda joined my course and now today he is producing these fantastic cakes and here is a photograph of the cake. Okay. Or this is what people told about his cakes, right? A friend has said this to Ananda about the baking skills that he has got like this, right? So then it says, oh, okay, so if Ananda can do, then I can also do. So it becomes an aspirational. So an example is something that would be put together. Okay. Right now I'm not going to ask you to write the example for it, but you need to think about it. Once the other things fall in place, you need to look for an example, right? Now why we are doing that is because the minute you give this, you will become, you will establish credibility very quickly. That's why this is called as an instant credibility formula. Whether you have done a course before or not done before, if you present your course in this with this formula, right, it makes it very easy, right? Now the how do you write it? You already have everything ready with you. Here are the additional things that I'm giving you. You know how, or have you ever been, or have you been, right? You write down the context, the question that is there. So it sets the mind, puts the mind of the person on the problem, right? Saying, yeah, I know. So there is a necessity for a solution. Then you say, well, I teach the student. Your identify, self-labeled person is saying that I am the person who want for it, right? How to get the outcome, what is the result that would be achieved through the topic that you have set. Okay. And as we refine it further, the topic can become your course name. But right now the topic is a good enough to start, because we are at the very beginning stages. So as we refine and you learn this more and more, you'll be able to write out this for yours. And finally you give an example which is relatable to the person, to where they are now, and aspirational to where they want to go about it. You put down as an example so that they, so now if you do that, will it be uh, will that person be, will it become irresistible to the person who is listening, if he is the right student or if she is the right student? Okay, all right. This is, yes, it is going to be, that's what the even the market reality tells us, right? So let me give you a couple of examples. All right, now this is when I said okay, I am,
Shashi ma'am is asking why.
why, what is the question, Shashi? You can unmute and ask me, please.
No, it's actually, it is yes. Why for
Oh,
yes?
I'm so sorry.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Ah, okay. I need to do something. Just give me a second here, because the everybody's video is actually blocking me to read from this. So I just moved that part of it. So let me see. This is where Shashi and Srinivas and three of us are partners. I said we are creating something for it, and this is an instant credibility formula for that. You know how, in spite of their best efforts, school owners are struggling with various problems such as not having enough admissions, not enough competent teachers, cash flow challenges, cumbersome affiliation process, etc. Well, we support our students who are school owners to solve all of their problems. Okay, how is using Sky Genius 5-step scientific process. And what is our topic or the subject is saying through the course is called as a Mastermind Conclave. Is actually slightly different from a course. It is a membership site. All right, so even there it is useful because it's an online part of it. All right, so this is one example I am giving. Second thing is I am giving my own, very relevant for all of us here. You know how experts in today's world have the opportunity to reach worldwide audience, but don't know how exactly to do it. Well, I teach teachers, trainers, and coaches to create leverage freedom and impact in their businesses and lives through creating online course business, right? And for example, and then I can add something more for it. Okay, now here if I have to give a proper example, I can't give my personal example, because thank you very much, and I want to congratulate and thank every one of you for being here, because this is the very first time that I have put up this particular presentation and reaching out to you, and you are the very first batch, and I want to thank each one of you. I want to thank Neelam here, because she's the one who has made this Zoom and all this thing possible for us. So thank you very much, Neelam. And Neelam and Hema together I want to thank, because Sapta introduced Hema to me, and we had a discussion, and then that went on to a particular meeting. And subsequent to the meeting, Neelam and Hema and me, we started speaking to them, and they said something. As my usual thing, I
Yes,
started
ma'am,
giving.
same. The 20th one was very cool.
So part of the session today, what I did in the initial thing, I had shared with them at that time. And then it came to my mind, no, why, wait. I can do a little bigger. I can enlarge my vision, and I can reach out to more people and make this happen. That's why I was not interested in inviting a huge number of people, but I wanted a decent number of 10, 12 people to come and join and see this whole thing and take a feedback and make things happen. Right, so that's how this has come about. If it was not for Neelam and Hema, maybe I would have done it after another 6 months. So they have made it possible to happen today. So thank you very much to both of you. All right, so now see, I believe in this very clearly, is that we need to we learn the best only when we do it. All right, so by 10 a.m tomorrow, right, create an instant credibility formula for your course and email it to innergeniusmail@gmail.com. Why by 10 a.m. tomorrow? Then I can take a couple of examples or all the examples and we refine. At least a couple of them we will refine so that you will understand all these 5 ingredients of or the part of the how do we have an instant credibility formula written. So anybody whom you speak to, either they are a prospect or they know a prospect whom they can refer to you. That is the goal. So we need to have that ready, right? So we want people to come and join in our courses, so we are going to be doing for this. All right, so don't worry. If you know anyone in the world who has, on the day that he or she was born, got up and started running a running race, is there anyone? Forget about it. They couldn't even get up, they couldn't even roll over. All right, anything new that when we start learning, yes, it is going to be an uncomfortable one. Yes, you will fall a few times. Yes, this is where, just like how a parent helps the small child and encourages throughout this process, we want to continue with it for our students inside a classroom or in an online thing. In both the places it remains the same, and we give the support, and that is the support that I will give tomorrow. So don't worry too much about it. Write it in whichever way that you get it. Do your best and send it by 10. So because if you send it by 10, I would go through with all of that and then pick all or few of them, so that tomorrow we are going to be talking about how to confirm the viability of your course. Is it something that is only in your mind, only you are excited about, in the whole world about the particular using the baking the cake again is saying baking the cake, or are there enough number of people who want to bake cakes? All right, do you, can everybody in the world learn how to bake a cake? I guess yes, the answer is yes, anybody can learn how to bake it. But how many people are interested in learning has to be first established, and then we will come to why should they choose you. All right. So when you do that, you become a course business owner and not an online course creator. As an online course creator, you can create a course and you can put it on the online and leave it. You have a online course, but you don't have a business. You don't get an income. You don't make impact to the level that you need to make. So for that, we need to incorporate this. So here we are looking at two kinds of people. The people who are teachers, trainers, and one kind. There is another aspect of it, which is entrepreneurship. Now, somebody like Hema has done a PhD on entrepreneurship. All right. So she probably has a lot more information about being an entrepreneur than I do. But how to make that into the real life and combine it with the teachers is what I bring to the table. So somebody who is an entrepreneur and wants to become an online course creator, who knows about everything about business, then this is not the right business. Yes, I can help them on how to create courses, which will be a slightly different course. All right. But this course is exclusively for those who already know, are already experts, and they know how to express themselves. But how to make money out of it? How to enjoy freedom because of that? How do I reduce my time in teaching the same number of people? Are the people we are looking at it, so they leave an impact and they enjoy the life and reach out to as many people as who need their services. That's the goal with which this whole thing is being made. All right. So now I am ready for the questions. If you have, so I'm going to come off and we'll put only the video. The tomorrow, the same time, the same link. We will be available. So please come about 5 or 10 minutes before. Neelam, tomorrow, 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before, we'll be able to open.
5 minutes before.
5 minutes before. So 5 minutes before only it will be this thing. Otherwise, whatever messages comes before that, don't worry about it. Within 5 minutes before, it will be open and you will be able to enter it. All right. So I'm going to switch over to stop sharing and Neelam, thank you very much for recording it. For it, I keep forgetting that it should be recorded. I was wanted to tell you to record it. Thank you. You have recorded it. Very nice. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. Now I can see the chat as well. So please, you can unmute and ask me the question, or you can type in the chat, because both are visible to me now. Mr. Srinivas is waiting to ask a question, but he is controlling himself. Ratna ma'am, any questions from your side? Sapta? Any
Yes, sir.
question?
What's the difference between Itihasa and Purana, sir?
Sorry, what is the difference between
Itihasa and Purana,
Itihasa and Purana?
or are they same?
Okay, I can answer the question, but why are you asking this question?
I'll tell you. You answer the question, sir.
No, you tell me. You tell me why you are asking this.
No, first, if you tell the answer, then not like it.
Okay.
See, we have to see. No, I think nobody expected this question, right? Including.
Yeah, absolutely, because see,
Nobody
okay,
will- So this is something now. I think all of them are awake.
okay. Now, what I would like to request everyone to give the questions is in relevant to the topic that we have discussed.
No,
today.
this is relevant only. This is relevant. Only.
And please explain how this is relevant,
No,
because
first
the
I want
relevance
to
are not
answer.
able to establish.
No, sir, your thing was ask a question. I asked. Now you have to give an answer.
Okay, I don't know the answer. Go ahead.
Okay. Now the reason I asked this is we usually interchange these two things, and the context is whatever you're saying. For example, whatever the session you have taken, don't you think it has come from okay? If you say from Itihasa perspective, that is, you have experienced it.
Okay,
Correct?
correct.
That is Itihasa.
Hmm.
Purana need not be. You have heard from somebody. You might be heard. You have heard from Danny. Danny would have heard from somebody. But whether you have experienced, you might not have experienced it.
Okay.
That's the context.
All right. So in that context, yes, this is coming out of an experience.
Yes.
And
that
having
is-
done not to this level, though this presentation is the very first time, but there are things that I have done in a smaller versions of this before. So this is coming out of experience and not just a book knowledge or
Right.
somebody said
Yes.
knowledge, not a
Yes.
heard knowledge or a book knowledge. It is coming from having done each one of this.
That's what I wanted to drive home, sir.
Thank you, Sapta. Thank you very much. Yes. All right. So, yes, anyone else, please go ahead. You can unmute and ask, because, okay, not as of now. Okay, all right. Super. So, so if there are no questions, so Mr. Srinivas, sir, you want to ask anything else? Because he is also like Sapta only, when he will talk about one Itihasa and Purana. Go ahead, sir.
Surprisingly, I don't have questions, Anand.
Ah, lovely, lovely. So I
did-
am really surprised.
You did
Thank you.
very well.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you did very well. And I also like this question on Itihasa and Purana.
Purana, yeah. Sapta.
Saptagiri was a brilliant question.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll connect both of you offline after this, and so you will enjoy it, because there are certain things that are common. All right. So yeah, so actually, hey, good. It's now 12:45. So that means I probably have taken about 40 minutes. I was giving myself 30 to 40 minutes. The rest of the time for it is the questions. So is there any, if you want me to elaborate on anything, please ask me a specific question on one of those. So then I can dig a little deeper into my experience and answer it. Otherwise, no problem. Please go ahead, make this, and please submit it by 10 o'clock tomorrow. And tomorrow we will discuss.
Explain here, but I didn't understand how is it.
Sorry? No. Somebody said something I couldn't hear.
Yeah, it's me,
Yeah,
Shashi.
go ahead, Shashi. Yeah.
Yeah, and just I want to know a little more, because in all the other slides also, you have not written the for example.
Okay. Right. So now I will give you I don't have a slide on the example for it. See, my example would be of this kind. And now I'm talking about to this group of people, taking that you want to start an online course for yourself. Okay. All right. Even during this pandemic, right, my friends are there who have started creating an online course and making it available in to the world, and have made thousands of dollars in the last 6 months. Okay. And in India, on the last day, I will talk about a few little more about the business aspects of it. At that time, I would say for it, so that internationally they made, in the last 6 months, there are people who have made five-figure income in dollars, which means if it is even at the minimum of 10,000, if you take, we are talking about 7.5 lakhs of income that they have made. And that is what the things are. And I know not one, but several of them. Right. And I know it is very much possible, but the way this needs to be done has to be completely tweaked to the Indian context. And that's what I am attempting right now, and make it available for us in India.
Okay.
Right. Using the same things that I have said. Right.
So is it
Hmm.
is it that when you give an example, like the way you are telling us to work on instant credibility formula
Hmm.
to start our own online course on online business on course, right?
No, no,
Online
online course, which you will treat it as a business.
business. So
Hmm.
let me call it as online business. Can I call it?
See, online business, there are several things. Okay. You can sell products from Amazon and you call it as an online business.
Hmm.
Here we are talking about teachers, trainers, coaches, and those people who have the expertise and the knowledge inside of them, which they bring it out and put it out to the world, which can be done online. And so they get regular students coming, and you do the whole part of it and enhance it to any level that you want, because online, the world is your market.
So can we call it online business in training and coaching?
Yes, that we can call it. That we can call it.
That we can call it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so when you say this,
Hmm.
are we giving the example only talking about incomes relation to the money and the finances part?
Okay. There are there are actually three things that are embedded in this. One is money. That is when you get the freedom. All right. If you have enough money, then you can do whatever you want with your time. Okay. Now the second thing is, in order to earn the money, how quickly can you do it? That is a time part of it. That is the leverage part of it. Right. And I know, as a matter of fact, each single person who is here on the call today want to do something good for the other people, right? Have a service orientation, that my life should count for something, right? Each one of you, I know, are having that already. Hence, it is all about impact. And I know you would do things for others with no money attached to it. Okay. Here I'm bringing in that element and saying, hey, listen, you can have that as well. All right. So this is a combination of all the three benefits. It is not just about money.
And
Okay.
where does integrity and ethical principle stands in the whole process?
How can you impact someone's life if you are not ethical, or not having integrity?
We have sufficient example where people are not ethical and but still they have impacted others' life.
Okay.
I don't want to
No,
name
I
anything,
know
but I think the area can be even the politicians and even the underworld dons. They are also impacting people's life.
very true. Very true. Very true. I'm not saying, yes, there are examples of that. Uh, okay, we need to then step to the fourth element, which is how are they feeling about themselves when they are all by themselves and they're being honest with themselves.
Still,
Right?
they are happy. They feel themselves as an achiever. They feel themselves as a leader.
I don't know if it is there. Good for them. Bless them, and we will move on. Okay.
Because there has been a study
Hmm.
where they say the personality type
Hmm.
of a psychopath and a reformer is
Hmm.
almost the same, the characteristics. Only thing is the lack of integrity, which goes where the point. But they definitely impact. They are leaders. They have lot of fan following. So I mean, I'm just curious to know where to inbuilt that part in the whole business system, because business
Okay.
is there, but the ethical principles are not there. That's what.
I
Thank you.
guess, see, I guess that finally has to be left to the individual.
Correct.
And this kind of a business, when in an online course and education and teaching comes about it, you cannot explicitly go unethical and without integrity, because you are repeatedly telling people that that is the way to be. Some of it will rub off on yourself, and you will start becoming of with a person with more integrity and more ethical nature. It's just my assumptions or my analysis at this particular point of time. Okay, all right. uh, but since I know each one of you in this call, right, I know the integrity and the ethical part of you. But when we go out, because this is the beginning, so I am also thinking of hundreds of people I'm able to teach this course, right? When that happens, will there be somebody without integrity come into the system? Possibility exists, possibility cannot be ruled out, but they will not sustain in this environment is my guess. I can only guess at this point of time till I am proven wrong. Okay,
I
all right.
completely agree to that
Hmm.
because, however, we say integrity plays an important role for the longevity. And I do feel that I have seen that people may come up with so much and so much, as a psychopath, ma'am mentioned. Yes, they do, but I somewhere feel that if the root is not strong enough, end of the day, the tree may seem to be growing, but maybe the root is like very, very, kind of, somewhere, it is
It
not
gets weak.
strong. Yeah, yeah, it is not strong enough. If you see a gulmohar tree, it looks beautiful, everything is good, but it is not as strong as a rain tree. Yeah, so the gulmohar tree looks much more beautiful than the rain tree, but the rain tree is much more stronger than a gulmohar, because gulmohar roots are very shallow. I mean, they don't go deep. That's why you see more of gulmohar tree falling in Bangalore than rain trees. So this is my take on it.
Lovely. Yeah, all right.
Well, I have a question
Hmm.
now, and that is there is thanks to COVID, there is a mushrooming of online programs coming on.
Hmm.
And just taking the example of baking, I'm sure that by now there will be hundreds and thousands of courses on baking, for example. I'm just taking just as a random example. Now, and moreover, those of us who are active and hyperactive, we get invitations for several online programs, and it's pretty mind-boggling. We do not know which one to focus on. We need to have a hyper planning document, I mean, all that stuff, right? So now, what is your take on the development of online programs hereafter, and the quality of the programs, and how does a potential client identify where we can get the appropriate quality that they are looking forward to? Sometimes what happens is that the best of the cake is not what they want. They want a cake of that a particular category.
Yeah,
Okay,
hmm.
so that is also a factor for us to identify.
Yeah,
Can you throw light on that, please?
100%, 100%. Thank you very much. Where is online course business going? All right. Started about maybe a couple of decades back, and the things where anything that you do something, put it up on the internet, people used to take it. All right. Nowadays, no, the clients are not of that. They have become much more discerning, and they are looking for, because they started identifying and understanding what it is that they want. Okay, right. So that is a level that is going on now. If they just simply publish some information, people were paying huge amount of money and buying the information. Today, the information has to be given free. Information has become cheap or commoditized. right? Neelam was talking about it with an earlier conversation. She spoke about putting the course on Udemy. I said, don't do it. Okay, right? One of the reasons is most of the courses on Udemy are only information oriented, and that is why they are cheap. Okay, they're giving it away at $5. They're giving it away at $10. And the second reason for Udemy is you lose the complete autonomy. You are no longer autonomous. You cannot make choices about your own course. And so that's why I have not put my, anyway, that's a different, so it is information versus what I call as education. Now, when I'm saying education, I'm not talking about the conventional education system that is happening right now. Okay, because conventional education system even today is focusing only on the information, and information, when you understand and remember, becomes knowledge. Okay, I'm not talking about completely in everybody, but most, the system itself is designed like that, and national education policy is attempting to change that. That's why I'm a very strong proponent of that. The key point here is the difference between information and education, or the difference between knowledge and transformation. Transformation happens only when you take the knowledge and make use of that in your life, so that you get the benefit out of it and you start enjoying it. Okay, those courses are still being sold at a premium. So if you want to become an online course business owner, you can take the information route, where you will make very little money per person and you need a large number of people. Whereas a course in a university even today costs lakhs of rupees. All right. Now, like that, because there is an expectation that it prepares them for the rest of the life in terms of job or whatever it is that they're looking for. Are they meeting or not? I'm not talking about, but that's what is the promise. All right. Or that's what is the assumed promise of the participant. Right. So here also in the online course, those who are going to offer transformation, right? For them, they can charge a premium price and they need only few people. And third thing is, they can also serve only few people. You can't serve 1 lakh people to create online courses in the same year, right? By the in a few years we may do it, or technology may develop and we may be able to offer for a lakh of students may undergo how to create online educational transformational courses now. But right now it is still boils down to a small number of people that one can handle. All right. And then the other flip side of that is how many people want to do it, is also, just as you said, the same example of the cake. Okay, I want to learn how to make brownie at home. Okay, by the way, that is the first thing that anybody who wants to become a baker at home will do it. So that's why I'm using that as an example, right? Because I've eaten enough brownies made by my nephews and nieces that I am fed up with that. Okay, of various levels, of utterly horrible to fantastic, right? So that is when the whole thing comes up and people start getting into that, right? The ability that is different from, I want to open a cake shop. If I want to open a cake shop, then that learning brownie is not sufficient. That's a starting point, right? So that is a difference. For opening a bakery or a cake shop, it's a premium course and there are enough number of people, and it is going to continue to grow because so many things people want to do in so many places, and there is already an expert who is capable of it. You are an expert in some field. In your field of expertise, let's offer a course at a premium so that you start enjoying leverage, freedom, and impact. Okay, all right. And of course, impact, it needs to be long lasting. Certainly it needs to be based on the integrity and the ethical part of it. Thanks for Shashi for pointing that out. All right. So exactly 1 hour is over. Exactly 1 hour we wanted to
Anand
close
sir,
with it.
just to add to your points to
Yes,
Srinivas
Sapna,
sir.
please go ahead. Yeah.
Just to just taking forward the question asked by Srinivas Kumar sir. Coming to the conventional universities, now the UGC also has given permission to very few universities to run online courses. And online, like they can have their entire courses online, where the mode of education will be online and they'll be getting the same degree as is of offline. So very few universities have been given permission where they can start their entire courses, full-time courses as online. So the future definitely now, thanks to COVID, it is reinforced that one is a blended model is going to become very normal now. A blended model, that is both offline plus online, which is going to be the norm for a few years. Then as and when it comes slowly, it is going to get transformed into an online program for a few courses for sure. Because today, one thing this pandemic has taught us is we can sit at home and do a lot of things without going anywhere. That is, yeah, it has its own challenges. However, we have done it. So going further, to be very clear, online can become online for sure is going to be the future, and blended model for time being, where there will be both a blend of online and offline. For example, now universities and the institutes, when they had when they have a calamity, there is a now a strike suddenly, or there is a rain or something, they can't go. What happens is, first we used to declare holiday. Today there is no need to declare a holiday. You can bring them on the online, which we have now got used to. Previously it was not there. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of things like that can become, and even now the convenience to the students because of this blended model will be more. They can choose their learning at their convenience, for sure. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you, Sapta. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Anand,
Yes, sir.
Saptagiri is. Can I quickly add a? Oh.
Okay. Just 1 second. See, 1 hour is what I had asked for the commitment. Everybody can continue to stay on the call. Okay, provided Neelam says it's okay because of the connectivity. Okay. Neelam, till what time we can have? You're muted, Neelam.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear you. Yeah.
10 minutes we can continue.
Can't hear you.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. All right. So after that, the Zoom connection will go away. So thanks, sir. For 10 minutes, those who want to leave can leave. If you want to stay, please stay. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
My question is to Saptagiri, because
okay, go ahead. Sapta, you're on the hot seat.
Saptagiri, I'm a little inquisitive to know from you, what is going to be the future of schools 1 year from now, 5 years from now? What is your opinion? I'm talking about the schools.
Okay.
12th standard level.
1 sec, Sapta. Yes. I would also pose the same question to Ratna madam also, if time permits. Ma'am, if you would like to share also, you can share. Yeah, because she's a principal of a school, but that's the reason I'm asking for that. Okay. Sapta, please go ahead.
1 minute, sir. Sir, there are two parts, like 1 year from now. Okay, now your question I have to answer taking a disclaimer that I am answering in the COVID situation. Okay, if the question was non-COVID situation, my answer would have been different. Now, due to COVID situation, the schools, the journey is going to be very, very tough. It means the essence of a school the essence of the school experience is being taken away, which is unfortunate. And that nothing can be done about it. 1 year from now, the situation will remain the same until unless there is a vaccine which comes and the things come back to normal. Otherwise, the situation will continue the same. There will be innovations added or novelties added into this online education. Now they might bring in white hat junior for coding. They can bring in some other things for playing games. All these kind of novelties can get added. Otherwise, I am not saying anything different as of now. Until unless the medicine comes up and the parents are confident to send their kids to schools. As of now, even as a parent, I myself, I'm not ready to send my kid to the school. No. So it will continue. 5 years down the line, there will be a lot of transformation in terms of the mindset the school management should have, the mindset, transformation of the mindset of the parents, and we together should transform the mindset of the kids. Now, for example, today kids are more equipped in handling online things rather than me. My son, and I am sure the story is the same in many houses. So they have gone a different level. What we could do in degree, they're able to do it in 6th standard, 7th standard. That's the gap, generation gap today. So the kids are going in a very fast-paced learning procedure, which sometimes has to slow down, sir. We have to slow down. Okay, the 5 years from now, the answer to your question, 5 years from now, there will be a lot of technology involved, sir. There will be a lot of technology involved, including human intervention. I'm not saying that there will be only technology. Yes, including when, as a teacher, if I'm teaching, I have to use a lot of technological tools is what I'm trying to tell. So that in 5 years, it will be, there will be a lot of transformation, and because of the new education policy, the vocational, they have to choose their vocational studies or vocations, and they have to choose their own specialization. So there's going to be tremendous transformation even in schools, even in schools. So what has become a luxury today, or what has become a USP, no more stands as a USP, to be honest.
Yeah,
No more stands as a USP.
that's
We
the
have
way
to create a
businesses.
new USP.
That's the way
So that is
businesses
gone.
evolve and world evolves.
Yes,
I want to. I'm curious. In the next 2 minutes, I want to listen to Ratna ma'am. If you have to share something, ma'am.
1 minute, sir. Srinivas sir, I hope I have answered your question.
Fantastic. I had more than what I wanted. Thank you, Ratna.
Thank you.
Saptagiri,
Yeah,
I
Ratna
love
ma'am.
you. Want to get
Thank you,
connected
sir.
with you.
Sure, we'll connect, sir.
Ratna ma'am, you have any comments on the situation of schools in the near future? Ma'am, you're muted. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Yeah. You're muted, ma'am. You have to unmute. You have to unmute, ma'am. Ratna ma'am. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am. Yes,
So you can hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Please go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, still not able to hear. So I'll bring this meeting to a close, but of course we can continue with this. This is off the subject for it, but we'll take that forward. I just want to say one small thing for it is this. What Sapta was talking about, blended learning without technology, and Sapta was part of my team, and we introduced it something like 12, 15 years back. We have done it, and we had good success for it, but the world was not ready for us at that particular point of time. Today they are asking for it. So that is why I am such a proponent of a national education policy. And in the first week of December, there are going to be a series of webinars which I will announce the date and the details. I'm doing it along with Refier on national education policy only for each of the segments of the education. All right. So of course I'll send the invites for all of you. So please come. So I want to thank each and every one of you for having joined here, and hope to see your submitting your assignments tomorrow, and then we will see and we learn more about how to do and where do we take the whole thing forward. Okay. All right. So yeah. Yes, ma'am. Ratna ma'am, we were not able to hear you, but yeah, we'll connect and we will talk about it. All right. That's from the chat I'm responding to. So thank you very much, and wish you all a great day. Yeah. Neelam, we can